into Sunday. Better in green. We have the NFL for Week 7. We do have a game going live right now. It is the London game. And I did not change the information on this. Let me change that real quick. The Rams are up a whopping 21-0, and I have the Jags +3. So I might be in a little bit of trouble here. It is halftime. Rams are currently a live minus 20.5 point favorite. So not the greatest start to what will be my NFL day, but I do have quite a bit of bets locked in, including this game. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spreads to go today. So I have quite a big board in the NFL, and I'm feeling a couple player props. We'll see what happens, but yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Yesterday was it was a good day for a fan. I'm a Michigan fan. It was a good day for those guys to bounce back. Betting wise, it was one of those days where you get 6 wins and 6 losses and finish just positive or just negative. So it was just one of those days. So it could have been much worse. But it is kind of frustrating when you put in all that time and effort, you can call it, and don't really get much out of it. But again, it's better than losing. But excited for today. We have a couple really good games and a couple of stinker games as well. I do think there's value. Before I send it to you, I do think there's value, and I've taken 5 no touchdown scores in the game for 5 games. I'll just say them right now because they're just ass games. I have it in the Patriots Titans. I have it in the Saints Bears. I have it in the Jets Panthers, and I have it in the Browns Dolphins and Giants Broncos. So 5 games where if one game has 0 touchdown score, I'm making some money. But yeah, it's probably not going to hit. The odds are, I think the worst odds were what's that lowest scoring? The Browns game was like at plus 5,000, and the best odds I think were in that Bears game at plus 15,000. But anyways, I do think there's value. There's some really crappy opponents out there, and still some really good games as well. I'm loving tonight's Sunday night football game. But basically on here, we go through each game, talk about what we like, what we don't like, bets, props, whatever, and we see if we can come up with a couple more plays or convince each other to stay off some other bets. But Ethan, welcome. How was your weekend yesterday, and how are you feeling about today?
Yeah, yesterday could have been better, but also could have been a lot worse. Texted you midday that I thought I was probably going to lose everything, and then Georgia pulled out the cover, Arkansas pulled out the cover, Penn State kind of pulled out a cover, or I guess didn't allow Iowa to go take the cover from them. So those worked out. Pissed I stayed off Vanderbilt. We talked yesterday morning. I was all in on Vanderbilt, or I said I was going to bet them, and then just for some reason didn't. So that sucked. And then I left Purdue off initially after Vanderbilt hit. I went and put Purdue on. They lost, didn't score. So kind of frustrating. Some of the other, contests and groups I'm into, I struggled. So kind of frustrating day. Lost in hockey as well. Had that Bo Horvat. Should have listened to you before I placed the bet. Yeah, he had a goal. Thought he was going to get 3 shots,
Wow.
only 2 shots there. So that sucked. I did win in UFC actually, but only 1 play there. That was lucky. I just went with a guy I'd never heard of against a guy that I knew, and the odds were like a pick 'em. So I was like, yeah, I think most of public like me would back the guy that has the bigger name, and sure enough, he lost. So yeah, that is kind of how my weekend went so far. I have just 2 plays locked in for today. I'm a little hesitant because it's been a good NFL season so far for the sharp sides, which I know you and I often line up on. And I just know it's not going to go, 18 weeks of sharp. So I'm a little bit hesitant with some of my plays. I could see it being a little bit of a public week. And, I think the Rams were pretty public this morning. So it's kind of off to a public start. But I do have 2 plays locked in that I like that we'll get to. But yeah, looking forward to hearing kind of where your head's at for today and seeing if we can get maybe a few more plays out there.
Yeah. You have nothing in this Rams game, right?
Nothing. Nope.
Okay. That was
Would
a
have
smart
taken the
play.
Jags. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm locked in the Jags +3. And like I said, and the Rams get the ball at half. Good God. Yeah, let's just start at the 1 p.m. slate. The one game that I really wanted to bet, but I ultimately left off, is now looking like a nicer bet. But we have the Patriots at the Titans. Titans last night was +7, +7.5. Now they're at +6.5. So whenever you get that under the touchdown, it usually is a little fishy. And obviously the Titans, we all know, are dog shit, and the Patriots are kind of hot at the moment. But like I said, I would definitely lean the Titans here. That's the I pretty much bet every single game I liked, and this was one I liked, and it was the one game where I was like, you know what? I'm not going to put money on the freaking Titans. So watch that be the one winner of the week, and the rest are losers. But I still lean Tennessee. I know this one is the Vrabel revenge game, which I think is a motivator for definitely the Patriots, but also potentially the Titans to beat their old coach. I know some guys on there are still played under Vrabel, so interesting dynamic in that game. I'm excited to see how it plays out. But like I said, I lean Tennessee. I ultimately did not bet it because I have Drake May in all three of my fantasy leagues. I have Patriots defense in one league. I love the Patriots. I love Drake May. So just too much going on to make me not want to take the Titans, but I still think they're probably the right side.
Yeah, I completely agree. Titans are the only way I would play it. I would try to find a 7, but yeah, I'm just I've been a little more lenient on, beginning of the season I was trying not to play the really really bad teams. I've been a little more lenient on that, but I just don't really want to jump on the Titans here. Um, I do think they're the side though. New coach, first week under a new coach. I think that's a motivating factor for Tennessee. They're at home, obviously the reverse line movement. I think the Patriots are the most public side of the week. But yeah, I'm not overly excited to go fade the Patriots on a 3-game winning streak. Looked really good against the Bills. Titans obviously not good. And then kind of like I said, I'm just kind of waiting for one of these public weeks to cash in for all the public. Um, I mean, I could see it with the Patriots. I could also see the Titans winning outright. So I'm just avoiding this game completely. If you're still in Survivor, I wouldn't use the Patriots. I would look elsewhere. I never like using a road team in general, but that does feel like the team that could get caught here. But yeah, not enough for me to play it. Just Titans are too bad of a team.
Yep. And again, if you're up a little bit, maybe throw a little bit on Tennessee. But if you're starting to chase, I don't think you're going to be too happy with yourself when you realize you're sweating out a Tennessee team. So glad we're in agreement there, and ultimately probably a game to stay off. Raiders at the Chiefs. We have a good divisional game, divisional rivalry here. Raiders are a 12.5 point road dog, over under 45.5. I do have a bet locked in here. Don't love it as much because when we talked about this game on our show over at Better and Green, intentional lounging, the Raiders were plus 11.5, and now they're plus 12.5. So the Chiefs have gained a little bit of traction. I think maybe that's as of late. As we approach game time, the public starts pouncing on these teams. Chiefs off a big win against Detroit. Raiders are still ass. No Brock Bowers. I do have the Raiders on the spread, though. And I've been really enjoying, especially in the NFL. It hasn't worked as much in college, but I really enjoyed it in the NFL, fading teams off emotional wins. And yes, it was a big win for the Chiefs. Yes, I had the Chiefs, but Raiders are feisty. They have nothing to lose. New coach as well, who I think could give them a little bit more confidence to get going there. But yeah, I think it's a little too many points. I think Kansas City probably wins by 10. So if you can get the 12.5, honestly, if you can get the 13, it's probably better. But I do like the Raiders to cover here.
Yeah, I like the Raiders a lot in this game as well. But again, one that I haven't bet. But the Raiders have, kind of had the Chiefs number a little bit. I know they won on, I think it was Christmas Day or maybe Christmas Eve or something last year. But yeah, I think they beat them twice right around Christmas. Or no, Kansas City pulled that one out of their ass last year. They got
Yeah, I think it was
little help.
2 years. I talked with Ben about it. I think it was like 2 years ago they lost. Maybe 3.
Yeah, that was Christmas Day 2 years ago, and I think last year was right around Christmas, and there was like I forgot what happened, but it was fishy. Probably should have lost that game, but Kansas City pulled that one out. So yeah, the Raiders have played them close, and then not only just the win against Detroit, but the Chiefs season in general. They had the Friday night opening game, divisional game with the Chargers, Super Bowl rematch with the Eagles, a Sunday night game with the Giants, which was a huge game because they're 0-2 at that point. The Ravens, the AFC favorite coming into the season, a Monday nighter against the Jags on the road, and then the Lions game on Sunday night. So their schedule's just been brutal, just with, circled games. This would probably be the one that they don't circle, even though it is a divisional opponent. Then they have a Monday nighter on deck with Washington. Then they have to head to Buffalo to face the Bills, which has been their biggest rival as of late. So, yeah, I think the spot here is horrible for Kansas City. Um, they're going to be pretty public as well, I would have to imagine here. Everyone's back on the Kansas City dynasty train. But, yeah, I think it's too many points here. I could only play the Raiders, but I don't think I'll have a bet in that.
Yeah, it's not fun. I am seeing maybe we get another Michael Mayer touchdown with Brock Bowers being on. I know he got one last week, but yeah, it's an ugly team, and unfortunately, I just like taking ugly bets. But yeah, I think it's too many points. I wouldn't be surprised if Chiefs win by like 10 or
Yeah.
8 or 9 or something like that. So hopefully I can get away with the 12 and a half. Eagles at the Vikings. Vikings are 1.5 point home dogs. Do we know I don't really care, but is JJ confirmed out?
Yeah, I think it's Wentz.
Okay. So we got Wency, and we got the Eagles. And I know you had on what you gave Ben for our show, you said it was dependent on the quarterback here. So I'll let you take this game first.
Yeah, I'm just gonna verify here that it is Wentz, because I did say if it's Wentz, I like Minnesota. If it's
JJ.
JJ, I like Philly. Let's see. Carson Wentz will remain under center. Okay. JJ is the emergency third quarterback. So, yeah, I like Minnesota, and I'm glad it's Wentz because I wasn't really gonna like Philly if it was JJ, but I don't want to play JJ his first game back, so it probably would have forced me to play Philly. But yeah, I think Philly's not good. I mean, they're good, but they're not Super Bowl good like they were last year. Um, didn't necessarily love the spot for them against Denver or the Giants, but I don't think it was just the product of being in a bad spot. I think they got outplayed in both those games, especially by New York. Um, they now have the Giants on deck again, so it's a giant sandwich when they lost the first game. So I think that has some merit here. I think Minnesota's a little bit underrated coming into this game. They are off a bye. Um, saw them look not great in their last game out. They were in London against the Browns. But yeah, I think with this bye, it's the first game home since September 21st. So what is that, a month almost? Um, yeah, I think the Vikings are the side. I think their defense kind of stifles Philly. Philly has no run game this year. They're not hitting AJ Brown. Hurts doesn't look that great. Their O line is worse than what we've seen from them in the last probably 7 years. Um, yeah, I'm not fully bought in on Philly. I think people are going to look at, oh, they've lost 2 in a row. There's no way this team can lose 3 in a row. I think they probably do. I think Minnesota wins outright.
Yeah, I'm on Minnesota at the plus 1.5. Yeah, who's thinking Philly can lose 3 games in a row? And I do have Justin Jefferson, 100 receiving yards in a round robin. I'm seeing on DraftKings 76% of the money, or 76% of the bets on Eagles money line, 76% of the bets on Eagles spread. I mean, who's not taking the Eagles here? And yeah, I think they lose 3 in a row. So I'm on the Vikings. I'll keep that one relatively short. Love Vikings, have locked it in. Saints at the Bears. I'll try to keep this one short as well. I do have a bet in this one. Bears have won 3 consecutive games, including that game against the Commanders. Now they're hosting the New Orleans
Ain't
Aints, Taints.
Taints.
I don't know. Either way, I still don't think the Bears are fantastic. I know 3 in a row, great for them. They probably think they're Super Bowl champs, or Super Bowl for sure lock-ins now, and now they probably think they have an easy win against the Saints. I do have the Saints here on the spread. I don't love it. I got it at +4, but I remember when we talked about it on the show, it was +3.5, and now it's +4.5. Actually, no, that's a lie. It was +4.5 when we had the show. So I guess I just got a bad line at +4. But yeah, I'm on the Saints. I think they can keep this one close, maybe even win it outright. I'm seeing people on Olave touchdown. I do think Loveland's not a bad play. Again, this is also one of the no touchdown bets I have just in case. But yeah, I think the Saints keep it close. And again, I'm not sold on the Brown or on the Bears. So I don't love it at all, but New Orleans is my play.
Yeah, this is probably the one I'm going to kick myself over not betting, but it's New Orleans for me. I think New Orleans wins outright. This is selling high on Chicago. They've won 3 in a row, had their bye week in there, so they haven't lost in over a month. But newsflash, Chicago's not good. Not a good team at all. They beat the Cowboys, worst defense in the league, maybe worst defense we've seen in the last multiple years. Their defense is complete garbage. Then they beat the Raiders, good. Uh, a terrible Raiders team, and then the Commanders, who I thought were in a bad spot. I'm still kicking myself for not betting the Bears in that game. I think you had the Bears outright, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, good call there. Yeah, kicking myself for not playing the Bears on Monday night, but yeah, this is just a sell high spot on the Bears. This team is still ass. They're not gonna make the playoffs. They're not even probably gonna fight for a playoff spot. Just don't think they're really a good team whatsoever. Still not sold on Caleb Williams. Saints are feisty. 4.5 points. I think it's too many. I think the Saints win outright, but I don't know why I'm not playing this game. Just probably because I don't want money on the Saints. But I do think the Saints are the side. I think the Saints will probably be covering this game from wire to wire. I don't think the Bears ever go up by more than 4.
I love it. I hope that's the case. I could use a briefly no sweat bet. That would be beautiful. Probably my favorite play of the day. Carolina at New York Jets. Jets are a 1.5 point home dog. Over unders 40.5. Again, worst case scenario, if there's no touchdown in this game, I'll be super excited. But I think the Jets get their first win of the year. I really do. Carolina's won 3 of their last 4 games, including 2 straight, which got to be their hottest 4-game streak in the last 3-4 years. They might have finished last year strong, I forget, but still, they're looking up over there in Carolina. I think they're 3-3. Jets are 0-for-6. Jets are miserable, but they keep staying in games. They it was a 13-11 game, I think, against Denver where they lost that one. I don't know. I really think this is a game the Jets get the win. So I'm taking Jets. I took up at the +1.5, just knowing New York, they'll find a way to lose by 1. And then I'll be kicking myself out of the money line, but I'm all over the Jets. I do love a couple, even though I like no touchdown in this game, I do like a couple touchdown scores. Really like Fields, and I really like Mason Taylor for the Jets. Think I'm gonna throw it on Mason Taylor. But yeah, all in on the Jets, probably my favorite play of the day, unfortunately, on the New York shits.
Yeah, I thought I'd be on the Jets today, but this is just the game that I could see, mid-October, public lines up on the Panthers, and then Panthers go win 30-0.
Yeah.
It's just I could see it happening. I've been caught by it multiple times. Jets now without Garrett Wilson today, so that's huge. I mean, I don't know who they're gonna throw the ball to. Josh Reynolds, that's your number 1 receiver now. I mean, that's pretty tough. Brees Hall has not been that good. Braylon Allen's out. Yeah, I could only play the Jets. But that being said, I feel like the Panthers could roll in this game, so I'm not going to play it. But the line is definitely fishy. I thought I'd be all over the Jets this week, and something's just telling me I should stay away.
Yeah, I don't blame you staying away from an 0-6 team. I don't know what I'm doing making that my play of the day, but like I said, my play of the days, I am terrible at picking my favorite bet. That one always is the first one to lose, and it makes sure it loses by not even close. It's just what happens when I start getting picky about which one's my favorite bet. But I still like the Jets. Another game I do like, unfortunately, you call this one the toilet bowl. We have the Dolphins at the Browns. Browns are a 2.5 point favorite at home, which I have no idea how that's possible. Both teams 1-5. They're terrible. Browns aren't even putting up a fight anymore. I mean, Gabriel is terrible. He's looked terrible. Miami's, they're still losing, but they at least show signs of life. They have a heartbeat. They almost beat who they play last week.
Chargers
almost beat the Chargers. Like they've came close sometimes. They both suck, but it just seems like Miami's a better team. They've shown more. They've looked more like a football team. And yet the Browns are still favored. I get it. They're at home. I get it. It's a decent travel for Miami. I get it. The weather's not going to be fantastic, which is definitely advantageous to Cleveland's run game. But still, I mean, what are we doing? So Yeah, I'm on Cleveland, unfortunately, on the money line. I just looked at DraftKings splits. Was really hoping Miami is going to be more public. It looks a little bit more on the Cleveland side, but yeah, I'm on Cleveland money line. Don't like it at all. We'll probably be taking Fanning Jr. to score potentially. Um, but yeah, Cleveland money line is my game bet. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I don't have much in this game. I'm really tempted to take Miami in a teaser up to +8.5. They only have one loss by more than 8 points this season. That was week 1 against the Colts. Um, oh no, sorry, they did lose to Buffalo by 10, but that's a really good Buffalo team. And then Cleveland, their most points they've scored in a single game this year, 17. So basically, if Miami can score a touchdown, you're looking decent at covering an 8.5. So I'm considering that. I just don't necessarily trust Miami. I don't trust their defense. I don't know what to make of that game because I lean Cleveland as well. So then I kind of hate taking the teaser with the team that
yeah.
I don't necessarily think is going to cover the original spread. So yeah, I'll probably leave it alone. If I do play anything, it'll probably involve Miami teaser.
Yeah, I don't hate the idea. I mean, I can't really see the Browns exploding against anyone. Um, but yeah, I understand where you're coming from there. One second, I'm trying to send this text.
Yep.
Um,
That total's so low. I might have to play that.
is it the 30, 34 and a half or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And that has
34 and a half. It's so low.
13-6 written all over it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, getting that 8.5 is a huge number.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I'm on Browns. We'll see what happens. Don't love the game, but it is a bet I have. This next one, the Giants at the Broncos, is a game I said I wasn't going to bet. I placed all my bets. I was staring at my phone, went back 10 minutes later, and then placed a bet on this game after saying I wouldn't. Broncos are a 7.5-point home favorite. Giants just beat the Eagles, pounded the Eagles. Giants kind of got a thing going with Scadaboo, with Jackson Dart. And like we said, the Broncos just squeaking by a couple games here, squeaking by the Jets by 2 points. Let me pull up these recent scores real quick. Have the Giants won 2 straight? No, the Giants have not. They won 2 out of 3. Broncos squeaking by the Jets. I guess, close one against the Colts. Close one with the Titans. Like, to beat the Titans by 8, like, that's not fantastic. I think they were like double digit or 9.5-point favorites in that game, so didn't cover. I have a hard time seeing why the spread's 7.5. I can't see too many people eager to jump on Denver here when you have to get the touchdown and the hook. I know people are in love with Scadaboo. I know people are in love with Dart. I know people are in love with the hype that New York has these last 3 weeks, especially after beating the Eagles. Again, I'm playing on the emotional hangover after a huge win for the Giants. I think they put in a huge effort in that game, even though they didn't really have to in the fourth quarter. Really big effort, though, for 3 quarters in that game to defeat the defending Super Bowl champs. I'm taking the Broncos at the 7. I tease them down to 7. I think it's like minus 130, but it's got to be Denver for me. I think it's the only way to bet that game, and I don't like it because I really could see just the Giants going on a run here and just continuing this under. I think they love being the underdog, and I think they really build off that. But yeah, I got to take the Broncos, and it's one that I said it's the one bet that I was like I'm not going to bet it, and I circled back 10 minutes later and I said I have to bet it. So Broncos it is for me. I think it's a good spot, but I don't love the bet in general.
Yeah, I had to throw the Broncos hat on. I think it's my favorite play of the day. I love
Okay.
the Broncos. So I locked them in at 7 too. DraftKings had a -7, -120. So I took that when everyone else had 7.5. Yeah, and this is just, like you said, fading the Giants hype. They're probably have the biggest bandwagon currently in the NFL just off of the young rookies, which, yeah, it's fun. I've bought into it. I mean, Dart is really fun to watch. Scadaboo is really fun to watch. Them together as rookies. Then you have, the young Abdul Carter on the other side of the ball, Brian Burns. Like, it's just they're a fun team. I kind of like the Giants. I'm kind of on the bandwagon, but this is just a great spot to fade them, I think, off that huge win against Philly with Philly on deck. So even though they won, I still think, if they can get a 2 wins against Philly in 3 weeks, I mean, that's absolutely huge. They're on the road where they have not won on the road yet this year. They lost to the Commanders, lost to the Cowboys, lost to the Saints. Losing to the Saints on the road, I mean, now you're just asking them to lose to the Broncos in elevation here. So a little bit more of a tricky spot here for the young players. Denver, this is only their third home game. They're 2-0 at home so far this year. They've covered this number in both home games this year, given it was the Titans and Bengals. But 20-12, 28-3. So they've only allowed 15 points so far at home. Again, only 2 games. Yeah, they're kind of rolling right now. It does worry me that they have not been winning by margin. Worries me a little bit that they're coming back from London. But this is just mostly a fade on the Giants. I think it's a terrible spot for New York. Obviously, they're getting all the hype, all the public bet. This is by far the best defense that Dart is going to see probably ever so far in his football career. So, yeah, I think the Broncos really shut down the offense. I don't think they're going to have to do much to cover the 7 because I think the Giants are probably held to 10 points. So, yeah, I like the Broncos a lot in this game, and I am probably going to double down, put them in the teaser with Miami.
Okay. I like it. Manning Fresh over on Kick. Thank you for the comment, my man. Good luck, everyone betting today on this London game. It's a shit show. Jags stink. Yeah, I have the Jags plus 3.5, so I am not doing too well, brother. But thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. Let us know if you have any games that you want us to talk about here. Sorry, I skipped over the Colts and the Chargers. How could I? My survivor pick. The 5-1 Colts at the Chargers. Chargers minus 2.5. My survivor pick and my bet today will be on Chargers. Since I have them in Survivor, it's got to be the Chargers on the money line. Basically, I think Indianapolis is the most overrated team in the NFL. They're 5-1, great. They have beat the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Titans, and a good 1-point win against the Broncos. Broncos was a good win. It was at home though. Titans, terrible team. Raiders, terrible team. Cardinals, terrible team. All at home. Now they have to go play the Chargers, who, squeaked by Miami, lost to the Giants, lost to the Skins, who we now know suck. I think people are going to be diving all over the hype of Indianapolis and Danny Dollars now. I love the Chargers. I think the Chargers blow them out. I don't even think this is close. I think this is a game where the Colts get exposed a bit. So I'm on it. The Chargers money line. You can take it minus 2.5. I don't care. I think they're definitely going to cover 3 points. But I think this is a game where the Colts finally get exposed as being a very mid team and not a true, in my opinion, playoff contender at all.
Yeah, I'm with you. Chargers is my second play today. Again, on the money line as well. I'm a little higher on the Colts, I think, than what you are. I do think they're not a Super Bowl contender. They're not going to go to the AFC Championship game, but I do think they're legitimately decent. But I hate the spot for them. Again, it's selling high on the Colts here. They're 1 loss this year at SoFi against the Rams. They're back at SoFi. Don't think that's any edge being in the same stadium. You still had to travel out there again, which, could have played into effect. Yeah, this is only their 3rd road game. Again, they lost the one where they had to travel. Their other one was in Tennessee against a really bad Titans team. Not a far travel. So, not necessarily a great win to go win that road game. Not tested on the road whatsoever this season. When they have been, they lost. And I just think the Chargers, they kind of pulled that game out of their ass last week. Kind of needed it. They were super hyped up after their 3-0 start against their division. Lost the 2 games. That could have kind of sent them spiraling if they lost to Miami. Pulled it out. I think it's a good momentum builder for them. The 2 things that worry me, they are on Thursday Night Football against the Vikings next week. However, that is at SoFi as well, so no travel involved, and it's a out of conference opponent, so not much of a look ahead spot. The other thing that worries me, Joe Alt still out for the Chargers. Obviously, Slater out for the year, and I believe they have another lineman down as well. So the O-line is banged up, which makes me nervous, but I trust Harbaugh to come in with a plan, even though Hampton's out as well, but Vidal looked good last week. I trust Harbaugh to, put in a good game plan for Herbert and that running game and quick passes so Herbert's not on his back all game. I think it's a good spot for the Chargers. Obviously, Colts have a big public backing now too, so yeah, I like the Chargers. I just think ultimately too they're the better team.
Yeah, this is the longest I've stayed alive in a meaningless, no money behind it Survivor League. So I'm really taking this seriously. But another comment from Manning. Might be interested in the Saints versus Bears. Caleb Williams versus Spencer Rattler. There is some beef with these teams back when Caleb beat Spencer for QB1 back at Oklahoma. I don't know if that motivates Rattler at all. I love it. I think it does. I love it. And Rattler's kind of that guy. I'm not sold on Rattler. I think he's got to be the worst starting quarterback in the league. Am I missing anyone that's worse?
Mm, I mean, I hate to say it, but JJ is not very good in my opinion.
JJ's pretty bad. I mean, I guess current starters, so he's out. Like Mac
Yeah,
Jones, maybe, but he's been fine.
yeah. Rattler's pretty bad.
Rather's
He's
pretty
feisty,
bad.
though. I'll give him
But
that.
exactly, he is feisty, and I think that he could definitely play on to that. Like, kind of the same, and I don't even want to compare him um, to Baker Mayfield, but kind of that same kind of moxie where it's just like me against the world kind of thing. So I definitely think he's going to play on that. Really like Luke McCaffrey as a sleeper play today. I do it. I'm seeing people on the Commanders. What's their wide receiver's name? I'm seeing like 4 people take this guy to score. He's like plus 500.
Is it
Um,
Diami?
no, it's
Diami Brown?
Chris Moore.
Ah,
I think Diami's on somewhere else now. I
is he?
saw him somewhere else. I forget where he's at.
Oh, the Jags. He just caught that ball.
Oh yeah, there he is. Okay, there you go. But yeah, I do like the Saints. I think they're definitely going to be some beef in that one. And Caleb is the opposite of Baker with zero feisty. Well, he's feisty. He's I don't know what the word is there. Zesty.
Yeah.
Um, these next 2 games, I unfortunately don't have. I mean, I think of every single game that we talked about. I think I've had a bet on, besides the Titans. Have I? Yeah, I've had a bet on every single game so far except the Titans. These next 2 games, I do not have bets on. So I'm going to send it to you, and if you have a good feeling on them, I'm going to send them both over to you. But if you have a good feeling on them, let me know. If not, we can keep them relatively short. I have a couple leans, but no plays. We have the Packers at the Cardinals, and we have the Commanders at the Cowboys. Cardinals are a 6.5 point home dog against the Packers. Cowboys are a 1.5 point favorite against the Commanders. You got anything on those 2 games or any reads on those 2 games?
Yeah. First off, just to our commenter, thank you for commenting. And then, yeah, we did touch on Saints, Bears. We both like the Saints plus the points. I like the Saints outright. I think you kind of like the Saints outright as well.
Yeah, don't twist my arm on a good old money line.
Yeah. So, yeah, like the Saints. Think it's a nice sell high spot on Chicago. But for these games, 2 games I'm not probably going to bet, but 2 games I actually do kind of like. I like Arizona in this game. I think Jacoby Brissett is honestly probably better than Kyler Murray at this point. Dude, Kyler sucks. Like
Yeah,
I haven't.
he was my quarterback I drafted in fantasy. I was like, I had to take a shot. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna draft him like in the 15th round. I'm gonna build up on position players, and maybe Kyler just goes off like he did like what his rookie and sophomore year, and then or rookie, yeah, we'll call him a sophomore.
Yeah,
He's ass,
ass.
ass.
Dude, I did the same thing. I drafted him in fantasy. I have a win total on the Cardinals over, which was dead as soon as they lost to the Titans. Kyler just on paper it looks so good. Marvin Harrison should have a breakout year. Trey McBride, decent running game. I didn't even care when Connor got hurt because then you had Benson coming up. Well, now he's hurt. Still like the other guys that they have running the ball, but yeah, I was high on Arizona. I was high on Kyler. Kyler sucks. Jacoby is better than Kyler Murray. Um, I'm not sold on Green Bay, so yeah, I do like Arizona plus the points. I just think Green Bay, they just have a tendency of letting teams get back into the game. They're at the Steelers next week. That's the Aaron Rodgers, um, game there. That's Sunday night football. So I think that's a big game for Green Bay. They're off the win against the Bengals where Joe Flacco kind of diced them up there in the second half. Thank God I needed them to hit that over. But yeah, I still think people are really sold on Green Bay. I don't think Green Bay is a Super Bowl contender. I don't think they're that good. I think they're close, but might win a playoff game. Just don't think they have really what it takes to make it all the way. Cardinals with the bye on deck. So I do think it's a big spot here. Again, probably not going to play the Cards, but that's my lean. And then Washington, Dallas. How could you not go over? I mean, teams are putting up 30 when they walk into the stadium on Dallas. So, and Dallas has a really good offense. They have CeeDee Lamb back. So, I mean, they're probably going to put up 30. This game probably gets into the 60s, if not the 70s. I don't see anyone stopping anybody. I am tempted, or was tempted, to put Washington into a teaser plus 7.5, just because Dallas defense is so bad. And I just think Washington could almost score on every possession. The reason I'm not doing that is just because, like I said, Dallas offense is so good, they could easily put up 40 points. So if Washington does have, a couple turnovers, that could go down the drain real quick. So I lean Washington in a teaser. I think I gave out Washington on the show on whatever day that was, Wednesday. I actually do kind of like the Cowboys, I think. But yeah, I'm not going to play it. Probably the over, probably the Cardinals. Probably not going to play either.
Yeah, on the show, Washington was -2.5, and now Dallas is -1.5. So definitely some movement coming in towards Dallas. Quickly in the comments here, rain going to play a factor into Bears and Saints and Browns and Dolphins. I agree. I did sprinkle on FanDuel. You can sprinkle no touchdown scores. I put $5 on each of those games. It's to win like, I don't know, $500 and $400. Again, probably not going to hit, but it's definitely worth a sprinkle if the rain does play a factor. Panthers versus Jets is a game Manning will be on. What do you got in that one? That's probably my play of the day is in that Panthers Jets game. Then he says he is a Vikings fan. He's scared that we play the Eagles coming off back-to-back losses. Get a linebacker back, but the offense is what I worry about for him. I still think the Vikings is the right betting side. I think the Eagles are definitely live to lose 3 games in a row there. So I don't hate it at all. I understand why you're nervous, though, but I think the Vikings can squeeze that one out. I am seeing money coming in on the Cardinals. I like the Cardinals. That is my major lean. I could get persuaded into it. And then, yeah, I'm a sucker for a good over. Yeah, 54.5, highest total of the day. Maybe I should try to find some touchdown scores in that game because that could be electric. I think was CD out for a bit? I think he's back.
He's back.
Yeah, that could be. And again, I'm seeing people on Chris Moore for Washington. I'm seeing like 4 people on that guy. I think he's like plus 500 to score. So maybe I'll sprinkle that. Yeah, definitely Cardinals is my lean. And then, yeah, we'll see how the 1 p.m. slate goes, but I'm a sucker for a good old 54.5 total going over. Yeah, against the worst defense in the league with the Cowboys and a Commanders team that definitely can put up some points.
Yeah, I just going back to the comment quick. I think the Vikings win. Yeah, I could see why you're nervous too, but I do think the Vikings win that game. I think they're right now currently probably the better team as long as Wentz is the quarterback. So yeah, I like that. And then yeah, I could definitely see rain playing a factor. Although sometimes like rain goes one of 2 ways: 6 to 9 or 40 to 34. So
snow does the same exact thing.
Yes, it's if they're turning the ball over every time they touch it, if they're getting balls, through a receiver's hands picked off. I mean, it can really turn quick. So, I wouldn't blindly just play the unders in those games, but yeah, I don't know. Rain's tough for me to really judge. It's really the wind where I like to play the unders more, but
yeah. And I think there is going to be there's definitely going to be wind in Chicago. And I'm assuming there's probably going to be some in Cleveland as well. It's not that far away, but yeah, for sure. And the one snow game that just is ingrained in my memory is everyone was freaking out because there was a foot of snow that happened during the game. But you remember it was Calvin Johnson, it was Lions Eagles, and it was like 41 to 34 or something crazy like that, where people couldn't stop it. People were slipping and sliding, which usually you think would go the under, but defense could not stay on their feet. And there was like 15 like 80-yard runs, it felt like. And yeah, so that's the one game that's ingrained in my memory. Remember, like it was a Calvin Johnson, he came up and his whole face mask was covered in snow.
Yeah. I think LaShawn McCoy had 3 long ass touchdowns. Detroit had 2 kick return touchdowns, I know, with God, I forgot that guy's name. Yeah, just I think Drake Bell had multiple touchdowns.
Wayne State.
Wayne State, yes.
He likes the over in the Panthers Jets game. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I mean,
you're conflicted on that total.
I'm conflicted on it. That game's going to end 3-6, or it's going to be 24-34, something like that. But yeah, I do like it's kind of like my MLB thing is like when it's it doesn't work in the playoffs at all, but like 2 fantastic pitchers and the total set at 6.5. I know it's still super obvious to take the over, but you got two aces on the mound. I like taking the over a little bit. Um, just
Guilty
because,
pleasure.
yeah, guilty. It's my guilty pleasure. And then this brings us to Sunday Night Football, Falcons at the Niners. I do have a bet on this game, and I am on the Niners on the money line. Brock Purdy ruled out, but George Kittle is back. And basically, again, fading the emotional win for the Falcons, who just beat Buffalo by 10. That game was never really close. We also beat the Commanders the week prior or 2 weeks prior. And then the Niners off a pretty beat down game against Tampa, where Tampa killed them without Ibuka, without Mike Evans, without Godwin. So and again, everyone's injured on San Fran. Warner just got out, season ending, right, for Warner?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Who is their heart and soul of that team. So I love San Fran. They're still the favorite. I understand they're 4-2, but I think everyone agrees that San Fran is not a 4-2 football team. Whereas people, I don't think, are as set on, I think people are more bought in that San Fran is not as good as opposed to like the Colts, where people are definitely bought in on the Colts. Like I said, I'm not. But I like the Niners. I think the Niners get the win outright. Mac Jones is getting absolutely destroyed, but he is a viable second string quarterback that's now a starter. I like the Niners. I really wish Kittle wasn't coming back. But I think this line was right around the same before we even knew the Kittle news. So I think the Niners get it done on Sunday night tonight.
Yeah, I think I gave out the Falcons on our show. I like the Niners. I don't even know why I gave out the Falcons, to be honest with you. Probably because I was in New York trying to go through every single game, and by the time I hit Sunday night, I was like, I don't even care. But yeah, I like the Niners in this game. Obviously, Atlanta could not have looked better against Buffalo. I know they only won by 10. That game should have been 30. Drake London should have scored there at the end of the half, which turns everything on its head. There was some more plays that the Falcons just dominated that game from start to finish. I did end up taking the Falcons, so I was very happy with how that game played out. But yeah, just a bad spot now. Short week, have to travel from Atlanta to San Francisco. And for those that don't know, U.S. geography, not close. So bad spot there for Atlanta. Mac Jones is as good as Brock Purdy, so I promise you, when Brock Purdy comes back, I will be against San Francisco, because the points that they're gonna adjust the line for Brock Purdy will not be just. So probably gonna be next week against Houston, unfortunately, because I don't want to back Houston ever again. But I think Mac Jones is honestly better for San Francisco right now. So yeah, I think Niners are the play. I like the Niners too. We'll see how today goes. Might end up on the Niners.
Yeah, and Juwan Jennings is back as well, but I don't think that is affecting the line much in that game. So they're getting a couple guys back, but again, I think the huge news: Frank Warner's out, or Fred Warner out, and no Brock Purdy, no Ricky Pearsall. Yeah, hopefully the Niners can get it done. I really wish Kittle wasn't going back, because I think the public might be a little eager to jump back on the Niners with Kittle there. But again, it's Big Mac Jones at quarterback. Do you want to touch on the Monday night games, or should we save those for tomorrow?
We can just quickly touch two just quick questions for you about that Sunday night. First of all, Kittle or Goddard fantasy?
I have Goddard, but Kittle's probably the play.
Yeah, I don't know.
I also like Juszczyk to score. Juszczyk, Kittle to like parlay.
Oh,
Those guys love each other. I'm just waiting. I don't even know when it is. I think they just announced it, but I'm just waiting for National Tight End Day, where I'm going to take a 8-leg tight end parlay.
Oh yeah.
I don't know when that day is, but yeah, I mean, I think Goddard's definitely safer. Kittle is either going to have one catch for 7 yards, or he's going to have 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always hesitant playing a guy off a hamstring, just because I feel like it's so easy to tweak. But a guy like Kittle, I mean, you have to believe that they took their time getting him back.
And he's been out, what, 3-4 weeks?
Since week 1.
Yeah. So hopefully that thing's back.
Yeah. I might play Kittle. And it's always fun to have a primetime fantasy player, so I'll probably play Kittle. Also, the last thing I had to say, I feel like Bijan's having a better year than Saquon last year, and it's just not being talked about.
My fantasy team's loving it.
Dude, that dude is insane.
not only is he a dual threat back with regards to receiving the ball, but I think he's the leading guy in the last 2 years of tackles broken. Like he is an absolute fiend. Like he's not even. I mean, he's what two bills, 210 maybe, and that guy is a horse. He's fast as crap. He can catch the ball. He's pretty much another wide receiver. I think he might be better receiving back than frickin' McCaffrey.
Yeah,
And yeah, I mean my fantasy team is eating him up. I love Bijan.
yeah. Dude, London's coming out of the woodwork. Like
Yeah,
this team's good. You can get this team right now plus 425 to win the division. I think that's a good bet.
who's in the Bucks?
Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's a good bet. I think Tampa loses tomorrow.
yeah, yeah.
I think
We'll talk about Monday real quick. I love the Lions. I really wish Ibuka didn't get hurt because people might be, again, a little too quick to jump off Tampa. But Tampa is they're 5-1. They're hot. Baker's playing out of his freaking mind. Also, someone that no one's talking about. Baker is having a hell of a year. I don't know the MVP odds, but he's got to be up there, or at least definitely a value play for MVP as of right now. And I'm hoping even with Ibuka out, they looked fine against San Fran. Ibuka went out kind of early in that game, did he not? And they still were maybe not.
yeah. I think it was right around halftime, maybe.
Yeah, their leading touchdown was Bo Nix's half brother, uh, Tez Johnson. There is his first name with a K. What is that? Who's K Johnson? I'm assuming. Oh, Cameron Johnson. They have Tez too, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, they have so many of those little speedsters that I think they're gonna be fine. I really wanted to play Cade Otton, but he just hasn't been getting looks. I don't know. But I'm all over the Lions, and then I do like Houston bouncing back on Monday night as well. But we'll talk about those games more in depth tomorrow's live. But who do you got, or who are your leans Monday Night Football?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be in action, so I'll just give two quick leans, and then tomorrow we'll break them down more. I'll look into them more. Lions and Seahawks are my two leans for those games. Did pull up the MVP odds. Baker is second favorite, plus 250 right now,
Yeah.
behind Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is having an unreal game on the ground, or year on the ground.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
I mean, how many freaking
dude? Such an overreaction though to Josh Allen. He's plus 320 now. He's the third favorite because he had two not so great games. Like he's still probably the guy who's going to win it. Drake May, fourth.
I love Drake May. I'm a
But he's
Drake May believer.
tied with Stafford and Goff.
Patty Mahomes is the leading rusher on the Chiefs with 222 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's pretty good. What are his passing stats? You have those
He has
pulled up?
1,500 with 11 touchdowns and 2 picks.
Yeah, that's a pretty good year.
Yeah. Even though they are
You're 3-3.
3-3, they're still going to make the playoffs. They still are probably live to win that division. But I think it's mostly like his groundwork. He's running like he hasn't ran before, which is crazy.
I think it's just the fact that honestly that Josh has just lost 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
I think when it settles, Josh will be a heavy favorite again. But
I agree. Has there been back-to-back MVPs recently? I'm sure there has been.
Not that I can remember. Probably Brady or Manning maybe would have to be the last one, but
Rodgers has won a lot. I don't know if he's won back-to-back though, but
yeah, I think he did.
Yeah.
Those 2 really good years in Green Bay.
We have NHL and we have MLB. Game 6 tonight for Seattle. They're up 3-2. It's back at Toronto. And then NHL, I'm seeing we got 4 games. Do you have anything you want to touch on those 2 sports?
I haven't looked at either really. Dude, I'm so shell-shocked to get involved on the NHL. Like I said, I lost yesterday. I think I have like 2-6 this year, which I've been doing half unit plays, so it's not too bad, but I just don't even know where to begin. So I'll look into that. I'll tweet out anything I do have. I do lean the Blue Jays just off rip, but I do need to dig into that a little bit more. But obviously, season on the line, back against the wall in Toronto. Yeah, we'll see. I'll tweet that one out as well. I'll probably have a play in that game.
Yeah, If I do have a play in the MLB, it'll be a $10 same game parlay boost that they give you every single day on DraftKings. Um, but I haven't won one of those in God knows when. And NHL, my one play that I'm liking, haven't locked in. We'll see how the NFL slate goes. But Ducks and the Blackhawks, two bottom feeders of the league. I love taking these two. The bottom feeders on the over. It's at 6.5. I love the over of that game. If that's going to be my one NHL play, that probably would be it. Anaheim and Chicago over the 6.5 goals. But I got nothing else. Do you want to give your top 3 bets for the NFL before we get off here?
Yeah, I've only played 2, so I'll give those out. Broncos -7 and Chargers money line. And then I'll give out one that I'll probably end up playing. Teaser, Miami +7.5 and Broncos down to like what, -1.5, 2.5, somewhere in there.
I like it. My NFL 3 favorite bets. I'll go the Jets. I'm going to take them at the +1.5. I will go the Saints at the +4.5, and I'll go Chargers as well on the money line. But thank you guys all for tuning in. Thank you, Manning, for the comments over there on Kick. If you do want to support us, make sure you do subscribe over at YouTube. It's the best way to support what we do and allows us to keep doing this. But we appreciate you guys. We'll be back talking about the doubleheader tomorrow for Monday Night NFL. And as always, we have our college football show. We have our NFL show out now. If you want a more in-depth of every single game, that show is live over on our YouTube. We cover EPL. We cover baseball. NHL. We have NBA starting on Wednesday or Tuesday for NBA. So that will be back as well. And then we do have Ben and Bobby over there in the MMA doing UFC shows stuff as well, where they are killing it over there. Let's cash. That is true, Manning. Hopefully you have a good Sunday and win all your bets. But we appreciate you guys. Thank you for liking and subscribing and commenting. And we'll see you guys tomorrow talking about the doubleheader and the NFL. But until then, guys, we'll see you later.